You need to become something of a sponge in your niche, and by that I mean that you need to soak up a bunch of information in the beginning so that you have a broad overview and understanding of what people are talking about in your niche. And then you also need a way to aggregate new content and information as it becomes available. So to start with, you'll need to know what kind of information the top sites in your niche are publishing, because if they're the top sites, then they're probably doing something right. So you can probably learn from their example. You also need to know what kind of questions people are asking in your niche and what kind of things people want to learn how to do in your niche. So we'll take a quick overview and we'll use a worksheet that's included in your workbook for this module, and we'll look at the kind of content that people are publishing in your niche and what kind of questions people are asking in your niche. And then we'll also use Google Reader to aggregate new information in your niche so that you can follow news and interesting new topics that are coming up in your niche that would be something worthwhile of creating a blog post about. So first, we're going to go to Google Reader and we're going to set up an account there so that we can aggregate some of the content that we're going to be finding next. If you're wondering, you do need to use Google Reader for this because we're actually going to use a feature that they have to help us produce our content. So go to google.com/reader. If you're not logged in, you'll be redirected to this login page where you can sign into your Google account. And this is what it looks like when you first sign in if you don't currently have any feeds or anything added here. And we need this set up so that should we find some feeds that we need to add to our reader to keep up on, we can do so later. Now, let's make a search on your main keyword phrase, and you want to do that just so that you get a real general overview of what the topic is about. And I like to do my search in quotes as well, just to ensure that I'm getting the most relevant information as possible. So here are the top results for Juice Cleanse, and I'm just going to open several sites in tabs here so that I can take a look. I'm going to open the top 10 and get a quick overview of the niche. And I'm going to take you through the results that I have here in my top 10 and show you exactly the kinds of things that I'm looking for on these sites when I'm doing a quick overview of my niche so that you know what to look for when you go through the top 10 sites and do an overview of your niche. So this first site here, Detox Guide, the title up here is Juice Fasting, a nutritional way to detox. That interests me because they're using juice fasting instead of juice cleanse on this page. So we know that Google considers juice fasting and juice cleansing closely related. And if you find something like that on your sites, it's something that you should make a note of in your workbook pages. I'm also seeing that this site has AdSense prominently up at the top, which is interesting because this may be a site or a keyword that has a potential AdSense revenue that could be lucrative if I decide to go that route. So if you see AdSense very prominently on a lot of the sites in your niche, that's something also to take a note of. What we're seeing here is a very short article, and it looks like a Master Cleanse Secrets, so probably a paid ebook that is about a juice cleanse. So I would make note of the title, I would make note of AdSense, and I'm looking over here, there's a detox blog. So I'm going to head on over to that because I want to see what they're writing about. Juice cleansing, juicer reviews, detox programs, alcohol detox, because this is a site specifically about detox because it's Detox Guide. So I could make a note of some of these topics as potential related topics to my niche. And also this site has an RSS feed. So I'm going to copy the link address and go back on over to my Google Reader and add a subscription. I'm going to paste that RSS link in here and add it. And now anytime this site has updates, I will know in my Google Reader, which is good because I'm now able to see what my competitors are talking about. So that's enough for that site. This one is, looks like they're selling a specific cleanse. So this is a straight up sales site, and let's see, do they have an affiliate link down here? I don't see anything straight away. So I would maybe look further in this site and see if they do have an affiliate program. But that's a straight up sales site as opposed to a content site. So you could make a note of that if you have something like that in your results. Ehow was a top result, which is interesting to note anyway. If you see any social media sites that are ranking in the top 10, that's always interesting to know about, because those are social media sites that later on you can hop onto as well and put up your own information. So this Ehow is about how to do a 3-day juice cleanse. So I could make a note of that in my worksheet about things that people are looking for in a how-to for this niche. Next site, Dr. Foster's Essentials, the healing power of juicing. So this is a big long article about juicing. Oh, this is very, very, very long. Okay, so this would be a good one to actually read in my niche, because it looks like it's very, very thorough and would give me a really good overview of a lot of different aspects of the niche in terms of supplements and what kind of juicer one should buy and all that. So if you come up with a site that looks like it's got some fairly authoritative articles and information, then have a read so that you become familiar with your niche and the topics that are concerns in that niche. And this is naturalpath.com. Okay, this is a blog post, but this blog is about all natural kinds of medicine or alternative treatments. So I don't want to subscribe to this RSS feed. And okay, so this person is saying juice fasting's for crazy people, so I thought, but then it turned out to be wonderful. So that's an interesting take that they took on this, as opposed to just going out and saying, oh, it's wonderful. They actually kind of tried to use a little bit of a marketing twist on things and make it a little bit more interesting. So in my workbook, I would make a note that this is another angle that I can take in my posts, just to change things up a bit. And here's one, My Juice Cleanse. Okay, so this is a blog, and it looks like it's posted on fairly regularly, and they're sticking very, very much to just juice cleansing. And there's a poem and information about red cabbage, so different things that you can put in your juice. So I'm going to subscribe to this in Google Reader, because this looks like a solid site, a content site to keep up on, so that I stay aware of the information that I can write about or that is hot in my niche. So let's see, this is a juicing Bible. I'm looking to see how she is monetizing this site. There's some Amazon ads, and you always want to look at how people are monetizing their sites so that you can possibly monetize your sites in a similar way if it fits what you're doing. So we've got Amazon ads, and this here, the Juicing Bible, and I'm going to click that link and see where that goes to, because I'm interested to see how this site's being monetized. And is this an affiliate link? Okay, it goes to Amazon, so it's probably an Amazon affiliate link. So we know that now. And also there's a banner ad here up by Max Banner Ads. So I would make a note of the different ways that this particular site is being monetized. And also this person's on Twitter. So let me open their Twitter account. And I'm going to look at the Twitter stream. Sometimes you'll find that niche blogs like this have a Twitter stream that is very spammy, to say the least, where it's just updates like a new blog post, new blog post, new blog post, new Scooby-Doo lens, that kind of thing. But this person actually looks like she's doing it right. Good for her. She's got a lot of, she does have a link to her blog post, but she actually engages with people. So later on, when we're in our social media marketing unit, that's unit number 6, this is somebody that I would potentially friend on Twitter with a Twitter account associated with this particular site. So I would make a note in my workbook that this person at AZ Carey is on Twitter, so that I could later on friend that person. And here is, oh, this is on Gothamist. Okay. And again, this is a blog, but this blog covers, this is about like New York life, and not so much all about juice cleansing. So I wouldn't subscribe to this, but let's see what they're talking about. The Blueprint Cleanse. And I would open that to see if this particular Blueprint Cleanse has an affiliate program. It looks like they actually send you the juice that you drink for, yeah, a free sample of a 3-day juice cleanse. So that's a really cool affiliate program for this product that I didn't know, or for this niche that I didn't know about before. So I would absolutely affiliate with this product if I could. That's really neat. So again, take a note of any affiliations that you could possibly make in your niche, in your workbook pages. And let's actually look at that. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, this is the blueprint cleanse. Okay, so this we saw in our, I think, our second result. And I wasn't able to see an affiliate program directly, but I would go back and look further now. If I wasn't making a video, it would bore you to watch me go through the site over and over. So now we've got something on routers. CEO of IZO Cleanse completes day 50 of a 100-day juice cleanse. So it looks like this person owns a cleansing type company, and they are doing a press release. So here is the link to the company, and I would want to find out more about what this person is doing. Also, I would make a note of the fact that what was initially a press release and is now published on routers.com is a potential way to promote my site. So add that into my notes, that press releases could potentially be a good promotional method, because we see one here in our top 10 results. And here's the homepage for that particular cleansing product. Again, I'm looking for an affiliate type of program, and it looks like this is similar to the other one where they deliver the products directly to you so that you don't have to like mix your own juices. So that's kind of a neat do it all at once solution. Also, I like these particular products in this niche because these are probably not cheap. So that would be something I'd be interested in. I'm not seeing a direct link to an affiliate program, but again, make a note of any potential things, and if I wasn't making a video, I would definitely look further in this site to find out if they had an affiliate program. Our next link is at Wiki Answers, and this is a social media site that you can add your content to. So you'd make a note in your workbook that Wiki Answers ranks, and you may want to put your own content up there once we work on our link building. And this question is, what juice should you drink to cleanse your body? So here's some recipes, very good. That's great information and something that I would make a note of for my own information, and I would read so that I become more familiar with my niche, and you should too on these kinds of pages. And finally, we've got a link on ArticlesBase, and ArticlesBase is another article directory. So again, make a note if you find anything like this in a site that you can put up your own content, that you may have a opportunity to get rank on a site like this where you can put up your own article. And this is actually just a listing of all of the different kinds of juice cleanses and juice fasting articles that are on the site, as opposed to linking to an individual article page. So I could take a look at these different articles, in particular the ones up top, and see how and why they are ranking. Are they using the keyword highly, or is it done? No. So it's just done by tags up here. I'm looking in the address bar so that I know how an article gets on this page, because I would want to have my article on this page as well. And I see that these articles are all tagged with the juice-cleanse. So I would make a note in my workbook that ArticlesBase is a potential site, and that I would want to use the tag juice cleanse, because that's how these sites all got up on this page. So we've done a cursory look at the top 10 Google results in our niche, and you should have read all the information that you could in these top 10 results that is relevant to your niche, that will give you some kind of an education on your niche itself, because you have to have a basis of understanding of what the niche is about and what people are looking for to be able to produce content on it. And you should also have some information in your workbook about potential affiliate programs that you may not have known about before, and other ways to monetize that you may have noticed on other people's sites, as well as any social media sites that you found that were ranking in the top 10 that you could potentially put your own content on once we get into the link building section of Crowd Mountain. Next, I want you to head on over to the Crowd Mountain Snooper tool, and that's available at the very top of your Crowd Mountain members area, there's a link to the Crowd Mountain Snooper, and it'll bring you to this page. And down here at Crowd Mountain Snooper, what I want you to do is I want you to put in your main keyword phrase and those sub keywords that you chose as categories for your site. And these need to be comma separated. So I'm going to enter those in and then hit the search button. And the snooper is going to go out and find the top 10 results for all of these keyword phrases. And what I'm interested in is the overall URL rank, which will come up once it's searched all of the 6 keyword phrases that I entered. Okay, the over URL frequency is completed, so I'm going to expand. And this is going to give me information about which sites over all of those keyword phrases rank the highest most often. So juicefasting.org appeared in the top results in Google 6 times. CureZone appeared 6 times. TheRawFoodSite.com appeared 6 times. So those are sites that I now need to go to and see what kind of content they're publishing. So I'm going to open up those tabs in other tabs, and we'll take a look at what they're talking about. So this first one is juicefasting.org, and this looks like a article type of site that may have been put together with Excite Pro, and it's got articles on different ways. Like, this is about asthma, so it's telling me, probably since this is on a juice fasting site, that perhaps a juice cleanse can help me with asthma. I might make a note of that and see if more people are looking for that information. Top questions: why do people experience incredibly quick weight loss on a juice fast? So I would make a note of the fact that weight loss seems to be important to people in this niche. And just looking generally about the site and the different things that they talk about, caffeine and how fasting helps cure addictions. So that would be a different way, and detoxification also. Different ways to talk about my topic as opposed to just telling people what a juice cleanse is over and over. I could angle it towards addiction, all these different kinds of addiction, all this different kinds of detoxification. So I would make a note of that so that I can have different ideas of ways to produce content. And actually, let me click through to an article because I'm curious as to how this site monetizes themselves. Let's see. They've got a juice fasting guide, and we'll take a look at that and see if that's something that we could potentially affiliate with. Usually affiliates at the bottom, links, don't see anything like that. And it's a $9 book. So also make a note of the price of products that you find, so that you know what kind of price range people are looking at. And this is CureZone. CureZone, it looks like, is a big giant forum. And I'm gonna assume if we go back up here, like at CureZone, I don't know coming into this page which pages were ranking. Okay, Master Cleanse. So here's, wow, all these threads that people have talked about the Master Cleanse, which is one of the keywords that I put in. So this is an excellent place to make a note of in terms of a place that you could potentially go, not only to learn about your market, but potentially, if this forum allows you to have signature links, then you could also market by answering questions and having a link in your signature to your own site. So make a note of any forums that you find. Also, in those forums, you're going to see a lot of questions that people are asking because they're going to forums to ask for help. One of the questions here is about intense pain that somebody's having, about their problems with elimination on a juice cleanse. So I could make a note of those questions in the section for questions that people are asking in my niche. So again, those are ideas of things that I could write about to answer people's questions on my blog. And this is the Master Cleanse at therawfoodsite.com. He's got information about the Master Cleanse, and we find raw food information, so that's related. I would make a note of that. I've seen that several times throughout looking at these sites. Make a note of any related topics that you see come up a lot. He also has some discussion groups, so I would make a note of that in the forums area. because again, I could possibly come up and join those discussion groups and participate in the conversation there and drive some traffic to my site. He's got a free newsletter. So anytime you see, like, this looks like a pretty reputable site in terms of it looks like it's been around a long time. So I would sign up to his newsletter so that I can see how this person is marketing in this niche, and also so that I can just learn more about the niche. Again, this is going to be about getting news and information about your niche so that you always have something to say. He's got testimonials from some celebrities and whatnot. And also this person has products. So again, I would make a note of those particular products so that I could potentially affiliate with those as well. And this gentleman has a pretty thorough store with tons and tons and tons of information about things that people are buying in this niche. So this is a great resource for different products that you could potentially come out with on your own, or that you could just create content around the information in these products. So a lot of this is about lemon cleansing, and then we've also got stress reduction as a related topic that people interested in this niche might be interested in as well. Fluoride filters, weight loss, other health books. So all that kind of stuff that you see that are heavily marketed to people who are already in a niche that is related to the niche is stuff that you want to make a note of. And here's the last site that we saw that ranks several times, Falcon Blanco. And wow, this is probably a personal site that has been around for a long time. Holy moly. So it says, what is Falcon Blanco? I would love to know. So let's find out. Related to life, the art of living. Alright. And why is this ranking for Juice Cleanse? Just health pages, perhaps? I'll go to that. And let's see. Cleansing and fasting, probably. Oh, wow. This is an amazing site. So she's got information on cleansing here. A lemon cleanse, that's related to the master cleanse or the lemon juice cleanse that I put in there. So again, I'm making a note of the fact that the lemon cleanse is something that is talked about a lot in this niche, and that things like kidneys, livers, parasites, colonics are all other things that people talk about in this niche. And back at the snooper, we want to take a look at any other sites that look interesting that we haven't checked out yet, and see how they're monetizing those sites, see if there are forums. Interestingly enough, none of the sites in our top results here were blogs. If any were, and they look like reputable blogs as opposed to spam blogs, then I would add them to my Google Reader RSS feed so that I could keep up to date not only with what the other site owners were doing, but also with the things that are going on in my niche. And of course, making a note of how other people in this niche are monetizing their sites and what topics they're talking about, so that I can emulate that, because these people in the top results, they've appeared multiple times in the top results over all of our keywords. So we know that they're doing something right, and so we want to emulate that if we can. Now back over in our Google search, I want to find out if there are any blogs in my niche that I haven't found already that are specifically related to my main keyword phrase. We were able to find one, and I think it was the My Juice Cleanse site. So let's see if we can find any more. I'm going to click the more, and then I'm going to go down to blogs, and this will repeat my search for Juice Cleanse in Google Blog Search, which is at blogsearch.google.com should you need to go to it directly at some point. And it's going to sort my results by relevance automatically. This is from My Juice Cleanse. We do know about that site. It's giving me related blogs, our myjuicecleanse.com. We already have that. This is from wordpress.com. And it looks like that is just a post about a 3-day juice cleanse, but not a blog specifically and only about juice cleansing. And that's all I'm interested in at this point, because these are blogs that we're going to add to our Google feed reader to keep up to date. Here's Raw Chef Dan. Maybe he talks about stuff like that more often. Flavor, vegan, colonhealthcleanse.net. These all kind of sound like they could be specifically about cleansing or health. So I'm going to take a look at these sites just to find out what people are talking about and if there are any blogs that are specifically about juice cleansing. Okay, here's Raw Chef Dan, and he talks about too much other stuff, so I'm not interested in adding him to my feeds. Flavor Vegan, gluten-free mac and cheese, triple threat dessert. No, these are vegan recipes, not interested. Only interested in sites that are just about my niche that I can add to my Google feed reader. The colonhealthcleanse.net site has a master cleanse post. Fat loss strategies, we're getting off topic. Belly fat, weight loss cleanse, that's another cleansing post. Oh, cleansing colons, no, this isn't close enough to my niche, so I'm not interested. Healthy life, carrots and carrot juice, that's about juice, but there's only one post here on the main page. And I'm looking at the sidebar for the other categories and posts, and they're about a bunch of different topics, so that's no good. And, you know, depending on your niche, you may or may not find blogs that are specifically about the topic that you want to talk about or that you want to learn about. And this is all colon cleansing, not just juicing, so that's no good. So I wasn't able to find any blogs from Google Blog Search that are specifically about juice cleansing. So a lot of related stuff, but nothing specifically about juice cleansing. So I'm going to go over to Technorati, and we'll do a search there to see if we can find any other blogs. And if your niche comes up like mine, where you find posts about your topic, but not necessarily entire blogs, then go on over to Technorati, and we can do a search on our main keyword to find blogs that are talking about that main keyword, and hopefully we'll be able to find some blogs that are specifically about our main keyword. And what I've gotten back from Technorati is a lot of stuff that isn't terribly related. They're individual people who have blogs and are talking about that they did a juice cleanse, but they aren't about full-on blogs that are related to juice cleanse. So you know, sometimes that's what happens and you don't find anything, and that's fine because there are plenty of other ways that we're going to be getting content and information for content. So I haven't found anything interesting here, and we'll go to the next area where we can get some RSS feed information, and that's from Google Alerts. Google Alerts are at google.com/alerts, and you'll enter in your search term, and I like to do it in quotes so that I don't get any other unrelated posts or news that have both the word juice and the word cleanse on the page, but not necessarily together. I only want things that actually say juice cleanse together. For our type, we can choose news, blogs, web, video groups, or comprehensive. And of course, we want comprehensive so that we get the information from all of the sources that are out there. We're going to choose our alerts as it happens, and then we're going to choose deliver to feed, because we want to set this up directly in our Google Reader. And then we'll click Create Alert. You'll be brought to this page where you can view all of your Google Alerts, and you want to right click on the feed, copy the link address, and then add that into your Google Reader, like that. And then anytime anybody mentions juice cleanse, you get an update. And depending on the other keywords that you chose and how close they are to your main keyword, like I wouldn't, you want to add those to Google Alerts as well. I wouldn't add lemon juice cleanse because that already has the word juice cleanse in it. So I don't need to add that, but I absolutely would add juice detox, juice fast, maple syrup cleanse, and master cleanse so that I get alerts on those key phrases as well. So once you're in Google Alerts, you can just go ahead and click New Alert. Enter in your secondary keyword phrase in quotes, choose feed, and then click Create Alert. And then of course you'll copy that and put it into your Google Reader and add it. So I'm going to do that with the rest of my category and main keywords that I'm looking at for this site. All of my alerts have been created in Google Alerts, and they've all been added to Google Reader. So at this point, whenever I come into my Google Reader and I click on all items, I'll be able to see all of the alerts for my particular keywords that I've put in. And that way I'm able to keep up to date and also get ideas on posting for my niche. And another thing that you can do actually is to create folders. If you have other topics of interest that you subscribe to, then you can add all of your niche stuff into a folder so that you know you can just click on that folder and only see your niche stuff in one place. So to do that, you'll just click on one of the links to one of the items that you've subscribed to about your niche and click on feed settings and then click add to folder, and it'll ask you what would you like to call your folder. So I'm going to call it juice cleanse. Since that's my keyword phrase, I'll know exactly what that's about. And there's my new folder down there. And at this point, I would go to each of my sites that I've added to my Google Reader and add them to the juice cleanse folder so that they're all in one place and they're not messing up anything else that I'm reading. So you can do that if you're using Google Reader to look at other feeds as well. Now we want to get really specific about the kinds of questions and problems that people are having in our niche. So to do that, we're going to go to ehow.com for starters and just do a search on your main keyword. And I already saw one of these results in my earlier search results, but there's still a lot of other articles that I can get information for. So I'm going to take a note of the kinds of things that people are writing how-to articles on, because this is going to give me information about the kinds of things that I can write how-to articles on, the kinds of things that people want answers to in my niche. And in reading the articles, I'll also actually learn something about my niche so that when it is time to write, I will be able to do so with some education on my niche. So I'm seeing using apple juice, lemon juice, prune juice, doing a candida cleanse, the acea, I think that's how you say that, berry cleanse. So those are a lot of, wow, and there's several pages. So I would absolutely make a note of the top results here, the kinds of questions that are being answered in these how-to articles, and then, you know, I would absolutely read some of them as well so that I get an idea of what people are asking for and what kind of questions I can answer in my niche. Next, we'll go to a very similar site that we actually saw in my earlier search results as well in my niche, and this is wikihow.com. And again, you'll just enter in your main keyword phrase in this search box and see what other kinds of how-to articles are coming up in our topic. And we didn't see anything for juice cleansing quotes, so if that happens to you, then you can try it without quotes as well and see if we get any results that way. And we've got colon and liver cleansing, so we know that those are somewhat related because we've seen those on other sites, but again, make a note. And that is about it. A detox diet, so that's similar. So these are other related topics that I could potentially write about. I would also make a note that there is very little or nothing in WikiHow about my specific topic of juice cleansing. So that would be a site that I absolutely want to be a part of once we get to our link building unit. And the final site here that we're visiting is Yahoo Answers. This is an absolute goldmine of real people asking questions and real people answering those questions. So once again, we'll put in our keyword phrase, and I'm using quotes. And this is awesome. I absolutely love Yahoo Answers for niche research because it tells me exactly what people want to know. So here are people saying, can you suggest a cleanse? So I would make a note that people want to know which cleanse they should use. How much weight does a person lose on a juice cleanse? So I would make a note in my workbook that people want to know about weight loss and how much weight loss they can use. Here's the lemon juice cleanse. Another one on lemon juice cleanse. Cranberry juice cleanse. I haven't seen that one on other sites, so I would make a note of that. More on lemon juice. More on lemon juice. Here's just fruit juice. Another on cranberry juice. So again, I'd be making a note of all of these different topics that people are asking very specific questions about in Yahoo Answers so that I can use those questions on my site and answer them on my site to provide people with the information that they want to know. And finally, at the bottom of Yahoo Answers search pages like this, there's an RSS link. And this will give you a link to the RSS feed of all of the different juice cleanse search results. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to add it to my Google Reader because I want to become continually informed of the different questions and answers that people need information about in my niche, again, so that I can provide that very information on my own site. And I'm going to add that to the folder that I created for my niche. Also, if your niche has any very, very big high traffic subcategories that you've used, like in my case, Master Cleanse was a keyword that I chose to use as a subcategory to the site, not in an attempt to rank for that keyword because we eliminated that keyword in our keyword research, but because that particular keyword has a lot of long tail keywords below it, and I could rank for those long tail keywords fairly quickly and easily, and because this keyword is so closely related to my main keyword that it all gels together very nicely. So if you have any keywords like that are very, very popular keywords and that you're absolutely going to be publishing content on, then you can do a search for those as well in Yahoo Answers, and make notes in your workbook about the kinds of questions that people are asking about that particular individual keyword. Like here, people are talking about gallstones, I didn't know, or a thyroid problem. So specific health concerns that people have and that they try to solve with the Master Cleanse. So I would make a note of those in my workbook, and then also subscribe to that individual feed in Google Reader so that I'm aware of what's going on not only with Juice Cleanse but also with Master Cleanse, because like I said, that is a highly trafficked key phrase that lots of people are talking about, and that I definitely want to pick up long tail traffic for. So I'm going to add that to my Google Reader. You should have been able to soak up a lot of information about your niche as you did this tour, and at this point you should know the kind of content that the top sites in your niche are publishing. You should also have a general overview of what your niche is about, the main topics that people are talking about in your niche. You should know and have on your worksheet any possible affiliations that you weren't aware of already noted down. And you should know of any social media sites that you have seen in the search results that tend to rank highly in your niche and that you could publish content on later on when we get to link building. And finally, you should know if there are any forums in your niche that you could become a part of, if there are any newsletters being published in your niche that you should have subscribed to and can get some information from as far as what kind of things those newsletter authors are publishing. And you should know what kinds of how-to articles are out there, which also means which kind of how-to information people are seeking in your niche. And finally, you should know the kinds of questions that people need answers to in your niche. Lastly, you should also have several subscriptions in your Google Reader to any blogs that are active in your niche, as well as some keyword phrases that are your top and category keywords subscribed to with Google Alerts, so that you're kept constantly aware of any news or other information in your niche that you would possibly want to publish on, as well as seeing what other people in your niche are publishing on to give yourself your own ideas for posting. Now that we have a solid basis of information about our topic, we can actually head on over and start really posting to our blog. So let's do that.